Hello and welcome to Dream Valley Meditation Center. Today I'd like to share some information that I think will surprise you. The first surprise is that your thoughts do not come from your brain. In fact, science itself has ruled this out. It makes no difference how many books have told you so. The neuroscientists and other experts who wrote them were wrong. The human brain can neither think, dream, fear, nor love. If you don't believe this, then it is not me you have to debate, but the laws of physics themselves. Your brain is neither your essence nor your commander. We will be returning to this a bit later. The second surprise, that is closely linked to the first, is that now we have the empirical, irrefutable proof that the theory of evolution is incorrect. It is a fact. It doesn't matter how many millions or billions of years we suppose evolution has taken, the result is always the same. And the reason, as we shall soon see, is that living human beings are capable of things the most complex organs cannot achieve and have properties that cannot have developed from terrestrial materials. We will soon explain all of this more clearly and at greater length. The third surprise is the realization that you are more than a material body and that your life will not be over when your body dies. And this is only the beginning. You will also learn that you existed before your body was born, and that this, too, is independent of faith or religion. In our terrestrial lives, we are surrounded by matter, elements, and these same elements are present in our bodies. We consume them as food, and all that is made from them, from simple water to more complex molecules, cells, and even organs, are also terrestrial matter. Some of these elements, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, iron, copper, are familiar to pretty much everyone, others less so. The Russian scientist Dmitry Mendeleev was the first to identify the Earth's elements and arrange them based on their properties into the system we know as the periodic table. One of the properties of these elements is that they can emit or reflect waves of different frequencies. These frequencies can be arranged in order from low to high into a table or graph known as the electromagnetic spectrum. Some of these waves are phenomena we are all familiar with. Occupying the lowest range of the spectrum, for example, are radio waves. These are followed in order by radar, visible light, ultraviolet light, and near the opposite end, X-rays and gamma rays. X-rays are emitted by electrons and gamma rays by the nuclei of atoms. Beyond gamma rays are what are known as cosmic rays, so named because their frequency is so high, no terrestrial element or compound can emit them. With this in mind, let's consider what makes up the human body and within it the brain that many consider as the source of thought. The human brain is composed of elements found in the periodic table. Elements connected to each other in highly complex ways, but elements nonetheless. And what is it that these elements emit? Waves with frequencies in the range of the electromagnetic spectrum. As we have already seen, they cannot produce cosmic rays because the frequencies of cosmic rays are too high to come from terrestrial matter. Next, we will consider a series of experiments conducted between 1939 and 1965, led by the Soviet scientist Leonid Vassiliev. His team, formed by doctors, engineers, physicists, and psychologists, tried to figure out how people can be manipulated with the power of thought, and on the other side, how can they protect themselves from this kind of manipulation. These experiments were done using a hypnotist and 3 subjects, all highly susceptible to hypnosis. The hypnotist gave thought commands, like fall asleep, raise your hand, increase your heartbeat, and so on. In each case, the team, who knew what order had been given, observed and recorded the results. What they found was that the subjects consistently obeyed. In the beginning, the smallest distance between the hypnotist and subject was about 20 meters. Later, this was gradually increased. Eventually, the hypnotist was placed in Leningrad and the subjects as far as Sevastopol, a distance of 1,700 kilometers, that is more than 1,000 miles. Yet the experiment continued to give the same results. At this point, both hypnotists and subjects were enclosed in chambers of lead. Lead is a substance that cannot be penetrated by the electromagnetic waves found in the electromagnetic spectrum. Lead is a substance that stops radio waves, radar, X-rays, and even gamma radiation. Yet the commands were still received and obeyed as if there were no barrier at all. The question arises, if the energy was so large, why can't we measure it with scientific instruments? The brain is made of the elements in the periodic table. This means that frequencies emitted by the brain must be on the electromagnetic spectrum. But the lead walls would have prevented waves of these frequencies from entering or leaving the chamber. The big question is, what frequencies can penetrate lead? Cosmic rays and waves of higher energy levels can. And they would have no trouble with a 1,700 kilometer distance. In other words, the energy of thought falls into this higher range. The only problem is that these types of waves cannot come from anything found on Earth. Terrestrial elements cannot produce them, not even if they are connected in complex ways into compounds, cells, or organs, for example. What this means is that your thoughts cannot possibly come from your physical brain. Now the question arises, where can we find the energy level of our thoughts? The answer comes from the work of three physicists, Adam Riess, Brian Schmidt, and Saul Perlmutter, who won the Nobel Prize for their discovery in 2011. In a nutshell, what these three men revealed was that what we consider matter makes up a mere 4% of our universe. The remaining 96% is energy. What's more, this ratio of matter to energy applies to everything, to planets, objects, plant life, animals, and of course, human beings. Part of this energy, what we call the aura, can be made visible using certain technological aids. Think about it. Of our entire being, the body makes up just 4%. The other 96% is energy. What this research has identified is the source of the energy for our thoughts, feelings, and this is also the place where our memories are stored, and our memories are not stored in the brain. But this recognition takes us another step forward. Namely, our energy field will not disappear when the human body dies. And it had to exist even before the body was born. And from now on, we can make a huge step forward, because now can we come to the understanding of the main law of the universe, the law of the cause and effect. And this time, not based on faith or religion, but based on scientific research. We can come to realize the law of the universe, namely the law of the cause and effect. And this, I promise, will shock you when you understand it, because it is based from now on science. The law of cause and effect works upon you because every deed has to be created first in your energy field, in your aura. Let's explore then what happens inside you when, for example, you decide to slap another person in the face. First, you have to have the thought. The idea of the slap has to appear within your aura. Afterward, you have to give the thought an emotional charge. This motivates you to carry out the action. As you slap the other person, you feel the sting on the palm of your hand. This is one half of the deed. At the same time, the recipient's cheek feels the sting as well. This is the other half. The two halves cannot be separated because it is only together that they form the action. It is just that. And this is the surprising part. You cannot create a half slap. You have to create the whole slap within your aura. And then you can experience the part that is more present to you, but you will hold in your aura the energy of the other half. And you will carry it with you until the day the person will give you a slap. And now, just start to think about it. This is not a punishment from God or a random occurrence. Most importantly, it is not something under the other's control. It is something you created. First, you experienced the part that to you was more pleasant, then later the less pleasant half. Now just think about it. It doesn't matter how well trained you are, how many skills you have. If your intention is to kill somebody and you succeed, you will be killed. It doesn't matter if you are close to your victim or high in an airplane. The result will be the same. Does this shock you? Just think about it.
Yet, that is exactly what Jesus was trying to teach us. So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law. Your 96% energy field is connected to everyone else's energy field and to the energy field of the entire universe. We are all connected, and there is a divine law that runs the show.
Of course, everything functions in the other way too. Whenever to try to help somebody, to support and love, then this is what is coming back to you. And in this way, we can learn and ultimately create a much better life for us and for everybody on earth. The law of the cause and effect is of course only one of the universal laws. And there is more to it. The question arises, what is happening to us when we leave our physical bodies? And can we know something about the so-called afterlife? The answer is yes. You can take up the contact with your loved ones who passed away. No question about it. At Dream Valley Meditation Center, we seek to show you how the universe operates. We explain its laws, elucidate the opportunities you have before you, and recommend practices to help you. We encourage you to develop your own channels, your own connection with the ethereal and with your departed loved ones. No longer will you have to entrust yourself to fortune tellers, card readers, and mediums. Even help you take back your creative force and begin to use it consciously, if possible, in service of the common good. The law of the cause and effect is only one of the universal laws. Practically, the whole universal law is called the law of love. Love is the driving force of the universe, and not fear. In all ages, there have been people and groups who kept this secret from you. But now, when you have the scientific understanding, you can make a huge step from religion and belief systems to sure knowledge. And this is what we are trying to teach you at the Dream Valley Meditation Center. So, if you would like to learn more, if you would like to spend some pleasant days, you are welcome to visit us at Dream Valley Meditation Center. In the meantime, you will find additional information in my book, Ultimate Reality, available in English, Russian, Romanian and Hungarian, which you can download from my website at ultimaterealityworld.com.